Imagine standing at a crossroads in your fitness journey, staring down two paths. One, promising massive gains with minimal time, high-intensity training, and the other, the road of relentless volume, championed by legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not alone in wondering, which path is right for me? Today, we're diving deep into the world of high-intensity training to uncover whether it's truly the holy grail of muscle building or if the classic high-volume approach still reigns supreme. Grab a protein shake and let's embark on this journey together. One that's packed with history, science, and stories that might just change how you train. Our story begins in the 1970s with a man who was anything but ordinary, Arthur Jones. Picture a larger-than-life character who loved younger women, faster airplanes, and bigger crocodiles. This guy kept an 18-foot saltwater crocodile named Gomek in a Nautilus facility in Florida. But Jones wasn't just a wild adventurer. He was a revolutionary in fitness. As the founder of Nautilus, he designed machines that match the natural strength curves of your muscles, making every rep count. In 1973, he introduced the world to high-intensity training through his writings, sparking a movement that would inspire bodybuilding icons like Mike Mentzer and Dorian Yates. Jones believed that to build muscle, you didn't need endless sets or hours in the gym. Instead, he preached a radical idea: push your muscles to their absolute limit in one grueling set, rest for days, and watch the gains roll in. But could this bold approach really outshine the high-volume training of bodybuilding's golden era, where Arnold Schwarzenegger swore by 5 sets per exercise to sculpt his legendary physique? Let's unpack the core of high-intensity training to find out. At its core, high-intensity training is about 3 things: effort, efficiency, and recovery. First, it demands you train to failure. That moment when your muscles scream, "No more!" As Jones put it, you curl until your arms won't budge, squat until you're stuck at the bottom, press until the bar feels glued to your chest. Mike Mentzer, a disciple of Jones, called this the breakover point, the threshold where muscle growth is ignited. Second, high-intensity training is low volume. Forget 5 sets. 1 set, done with maximum intensity, is enough. Dorian Yates, a 6-time Mr. Olympia, lived by this. 1 set at extreme intensity does the muscle-building job. Finally, high-intensity training is low frequency. Jones eventually recommended training each muscle just once or twice a week, with Mentzer pushing for up to 14 days of rest between sessions. The logic? If you're truly giving your all, your body needs time to rebuild stronger. These ideas sound intense, but they're seductive. Who wouldn't want to spend less time in the gym and still build a physique that turns heads? Yet, there's a catch. Could 1 set and a week of rest really rival the relentless grind of high-volume training? To answer that, we need to dig into one of the most jaw-dropping stories in fitness history. In 1973, at Colorado State University, Arthur Jones and bodybuilder Casey Viator set out to prove the power of high-intensity training in a now infamous experiment. For 28 days, Viator, a genetic phenom and the youngest ever Mr. America, trained with 1 set per exercise, pushed to failure on Nautilus machines with no rest between movements. The results? A staggering 63 pounds of muscle gained in just 4 weeks. Jones himself reportedly added 15 pounds in 22 days. 63 pounds! That's like packing on the equivalent of a small child in muscle mass in less than a month. But before you start dreaming of Hulk-like transformations, let's hit pause. Was this too good to be true? Viator hadn't trained for 4 months after a serious accident, and Jones hadn't lifted in months either. Their bodies were likely primed for muscle memory, rapidly rebuilding lost muscle, plus Viator's genetic gifts and whispers of anabolic steroids, though Jones denied it, raise questions. Stories like Tim Ferriss claiming 34 pounds of muscle in 4 weeks using HIIT only add to the hype, but they don't compare HIIT to other methods. So, is high-intensity training really superior, or is it just a flashy headline? Let's turn to science for clarity. You're probably wondering, do I need to train to failure to grow? A 2021 meta-analysis of 7 studies found no difference in muscle growth between training to failure and stopping a few reps short. Even for experienced lifters, the data suggests you can build just as much muscle by leaving a little in the tank. Strength gains? Same story. No significant advantage to pushing to failure. What about volume? Arnold's 5-set philosophy seems to hold up. A 2017 meta-analysis showed that 3 sets per exercise beat 1 set for both muscle growth and strength. Why? More sets mean more mechanical tension, the key driver of muscle growth. And frequency? Whether you train a muscle once or multiple times a week, the gains are similar as long as the total weekly sets match. But higher frequency can let you squeeze in more sets, potentially boosting strength. Here's the kicker. High-intensity training's low-frequency approach assumes you need days to recover from intense sessions, but science says otherwise. Your body adapts over time, recovering in as little as 24 hours even after tough workouts. So, while the principles of high-intensity training sound logical, the research leans toward higher volume and more flexible frequencies for optimal gains. Now, don't write off high-intensity training just yet. It has real strengths, especially for people like you who are balancing busy lives with fitness goals. First, training to failure teaches you what true effort feels like, helping you master reps in reserve for smarter training later. Second, it's a time saver. If you're juggling work, family, or studies, the 1-set approach can still build serious muscle in a fraction of the time. And third, it works really well for some people. Studies show half of lifters grow just as much or more with 1 set compared to 3, proving we're all a little different. So, where does this leave you? High-intensity training isn't the magic bullet some claim, but it's not a myth either. It builds muscle and strength effectively, especially if time is tight or you thrive on pushing your limits. But if you're chasing maximum gains, a higher volume approach might have the edge over high-intensity training. The real secret? Listen to your body. Experiment with both, track your progress, and find what fits your goals, recovery, and lifestyle. As you step into the gym next, remember Arthur Jones's wild spirit and Arnold's relentless drive. Whether you choose 1 set to failure or 5 sets of grit, you're carving your own path to strength. Keep learning, keep lifting, and keep chasing the best version of you.